Welcome. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist congregation. I was going to say community, because we are a community. Unitarian Universalist is such a mouthful, of Venice, affectionately known as UCOV, which is much easier to say. My name is Mary Ann Kerner, and I'm so pleased to be the worship associate today. At UCOV, we try to center love and welcome and to journey together in ways that affirm and support one another. You are welcome, no matter who you are, as long as you're willing to join this community of support and caring. We're so pleased that you have chosen to worship with us. As the hymn that we will soon sing together, "Come, come, whoever you are." If anyone's here for the first time, if you'd be comfortable in doing so, would you please raise your hand, tell us where you're from, any pertinent details of your life that you wish to share, and someone will come to you with a mic. So, anybody here? Here comes one.
What would you like to hear? I'll start. Okay, the real good stuff. My name's Richard Herman, and I've actually been an associate member, or whatever I'm supposed to be called as, a non-member, but I've been coming here for maybe 6 years, 7 years, mostly in our fellowship group. That's how Denny dragged me here today. I'm sorry. Thank you. Oh, much better. I'm from Maine, and I'm a snowbird. I don't know what else I can say. I mean, say
That's
hello?
enough. That's enough.
Hello.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Richard.
There's another one here, down here.
Hi, I'm Kate. I'm from Virginia. I'm a sunbird. I live in South Venice. I was looking for Donna. Good to see you. I've been distraught since last week, and I'm looking for fellowship of like-minded people who are ready to roll up their sleeves and take action. And I came with my friend Kendra, so thank you very much. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kathy. I'm here for the same reason. I'm looking for my people.
Thank you.
My name is Kim Wallace. I'm actually from, you could tell from my accent, all over the South. I'm coming here for some mental and physical acuity and strength to get through the apocalypse that we just went through. And I figured, I've been wanting to come to the Unitarian Church, and I figured now is as good a time as any.
Welcome. Thank you.
Welcome.
Anyone else?
Hi, my name is Ronnie, and I came the other day for the talk after the election, feeling like I'm in 1936 Germany, and we've just got to help change back to what we were, a democracy. That's why I'm here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Cindy Anderson. I'm here with my husband, Tim Anderson. I speak for both of us. He's shy. I'm originally from Baltimore. My husband is one of those rare native Floridians. He's from Bradenton. We met in Pittsburgh, so we've been all over. We moved from Seattle to here. What a difference. But we're happy to find a group of people that we can connect with a common view and common goals, and find strength and purpose with each other. We live in Nokomis, and we're excited to be here and meet everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Any snowbirds returning? Oh, or there's a snowbird. Okay. Oh, sorry, someone new. Wonderful.
Jim and Lisa Willott. Happy to be back.
Okay, back to the snowbirds.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mary Ellen. I have a long history in one particular religion, but it doesn't seem to match my current values. So I'm looking for a community that might share similar values that I have, which I think should be worldwide. So thank you for saying hello and welcoming me.
Welcome indeed. Thank you so much.
My name is Ann Harrison. I'm the chair of the membership team and the welcome team. All of you wonderful visitors, we're so blessed by your presence. If you haven't done so, please fill out one of the green slips at our welcome table, and that way we can stay in touch with you. Thank you.
Thanks, Andy.
Good morning, Matt and Kim McHugh back from Rhode Island for the season, and really great to be back. I'm on the welcome table, and I haven't been around for the last 5 months, and a lady came up to me and asked me when the meditation is on Saturdays, and I didn't have the answer, so if anybody knows what it is, it'd be great. It's on the back of the program.
At 10:30. Is that not in there? Yes,
10:30. Anyone else?
That's everybody. I have an announcement, and so does Amy, so I'll let Amy go first.
I have two quick announcements. Choir wants us to know that choir rehearsals remain on Thursday, not on Tuesday. There is a blooper on the sheet. Is everything else correct, Jan, the time? Everything else is correct, but it's Thursday. John Van Camp wants everybody to know that after church today, we are meeting in here. Go get your coffee, have your little snack, do whatever else you need to do, come back in. We're meeting to talk about social justice for this year, what our focus should be, what are we going for, and just to talk a little too. So if you want to, come on back in, join that conversation.
My announcement is about the Peace Pole. Peace Pole. The dedication is at the new Buddhist Meditation Center, 344 Shamrock, on Saturday, the 16th at 1 p.m. I'm going to ask you to be short with your announcements, but I'm not going to be. Please bring your peaceful intentions for yourself, our community, our nation, and our world to the Peace Pole dedication, and help anchor peace in your heart, our community, and our world. Are there any other announcements? Yes, Roxy.
I also have two quick ones. Unfortunately, the transition support group didn't make it into the program, and I will make sure it does. It's Friday at 2:30, so people can go to stuff before and stuff after. We had a wonderful first one last Friday, 6 people. We have plenty of room and invite anyone who has anything on your mind that is stressing you or causing you pain, whether it's a life issue or an election or a death or a divorce or kids or whatever's on your mind. We welcome you in Waters Hall Friday at 2:30. There is a sign-up sheet outside, and if you don't want to write your name on it, that's okay, but my name and phone number are at the bottom, or just show up. And the second thing quickly is that I am hosting a community Thanksgiving dinner for anyone in this church who would like to come. It will be in my home, and it'll be a potluck. I'm going to do the big turkey, and anytime from 3 o'clock on. So if you're interested in that, either let me know afterward, or we'll find some way with someone here at the church where you can get my contact information. Thanks.
This is just a friendly reminder to turn off all your electronics now.
So I'll be quick. I just want people to know that this coming, I'm thinking what day we meet. I'm thinking the second, we were meeting for the Death and Grief Support Group. We were meeting the second and the fourth Wednesdays of each month. We are moving that for November and December to the 1st and 3rd because Thanksgiving, we would be meeting the afternoon before, and Christmas is on the 4th Wednesday. So just know that it's not this week, it'll be happening next week, the week after. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, back row.
The Free Thinkers of Venice meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous will hold its first meeting on Tuesday, November 19th from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. on the Lanai. It is an open meeting and all are welcome to attend, especially those who have a desire to stop drinking. It is a secular meeting for those seeking an alternative to traditional theistic forms of recovery from alcoholism. Thank you.
Thank you. Now it's time to light the chalice. We light our chalice today with the fire of community, which calls us together to make the world a better place. May this flame guide us from gloom and grief to a place where we can thrive.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's been a hell of a week. I'm so glad we are together today. I'm Reverend Amy Petrie Shaw. Canadian writer Liz James, and Liz is the founder of the UU Hysterical Society. Liz writes, "You can be agnostic about hope. You can just refuse to weigh in on the issue. You can decide to just make it through this day, through this moment. You can sit in the colors of a fall day and just think about this one day. You can fight for justice and rejoice in every person you reach, and you can cry for every person you can't get to without deciding whether your efforts are enough." She writes, "They say you lose hope, like it's a thing that will slip beneath the waves if you aren't clenching it in your tightened fists. But that's not how it works. You can give up hope if you want. When the time comes, it will find you again. It knows where you live. You can give up hope if you want to, It will find you again. It knows where you live. Wow. Come in, and let's see if we can find a little hope today. Come in and let us worship here together. UCOV is a welcoming, caring community, and it's open to anyone who respectfully enters. We encourage spiritual growth, seek meaning, and pursue justice all together. So please join me now in reading the words of our covenant, the promise we make of how we will be with one another. The words are on the back of your sheets. In a climate of joy, goodwill, and trust, this congregation covenants to treat one another with kindness and respect, to listen with openness and acceptance, to support and protect the environment of which we are all a part, to solve problems responsibly as we grow and change, to encourage learning and nurture the growth of diverse human spirits, and to dedicate time, talent, and resources in an effort to make a difference in local and world communities. In the spirit of our free religious heritage, we promise these to one another. Please rise in body or spirit and join now in singing our opening hymn, number 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are. We're going to do it through twice. This is the point in our service where we do our offering, and as always, the offering words are given with levity because giving should never hurt. A gambler named Bud and his accountant, Donald, have come to sit down with the minister of a UU church. Bud has written the church a $5 million check, and the minister did not believe it could possibly be real, and he refused to take it. They sat down in the office, and the minister said, I know you are a gambler and a bad one. I don't trust you. There's no way you are that good. And Bud says, well, I'll show you. I'll bet you $1,000 I can bite my own eyeball. The minister thinks a minute and says, I'll take that bet. The man popped out his glass eye and chomped down on it. The minister is horrified at the money he just lost. And Bud says, okay, you didn't know I had a glass eye, so I'll give you another chance, double or nothing, that I can bite my other eye. And the minister said, okay, I know we can't have two fake eyes. I saw him drive up here. It's a deal. Bud immediately pops out his dentures and chops them down on his other eye. The minister's distraught. How did I fall for it? I just lost $2,000. Seeing how upset the minister was, Bud made another offer. I'll tell you what, double or nothing again. $4,000. I bet I can stand at one end of your desk, throw my full cup of coffee into the trash can at that end without getting a drop on the desk, and I can moon you before it hits the can. The minister's horrified, but he can't afford the money he's already lost. He looks at his 8-foot-long desk and figures there's no way Bud can do this. I'll take that bet. Bud grins, drops his pants, and does a feeble throw. The coffee splashes everywhere, all over the desk. The minister starts jumping with joy, but then sees Donald, the accountant, shaking his head in despair. What's wrong with you, he asks. I just won $4,000. But Donald responds, "You won $4,000. But just before we walked in the door, he bet me $5 million that he could moon you, throw coffee all over your desk, and you'd be happy about it." Now, none of you have made me any good bets lately, so the morning offering will now be given and gratefully received. Oh, and Good Samaritan Pharmacy and Health Services is the special offering for the month. So you can put that in the memo line, Good Samaritan Pharmacy and Health Services. If you'd like that to go to that, that's what we're taking the collection for. Thank you all so much, not just for these gifts, but for everything that you do for the life and the work of the community. Because it's as a community of human hands and human hearts that we come together here to bear witness and minister to one another as we struggle with life's sorrows and celebrate life's joys. Before or at any other point in the service, you are always welcome to come forward and light a candle on the candle table. During this part of the service, we will light the candles for you. You don't have to come forward. So this is our time of sharing, and if you have a joy or a concern, please raise a hand and someone will bring you a microphone. Please keep your comments reasonably brief so that everyone who wants to will have time to share.
Hello, I'm Pam Palmer. On Wednesday, Amy posted to our In Touch webpage on Facebook page, which is kind of UCOV light, and she referenced the book by Terry Pratchett, Night Watch, in which, and I will read this, a group of honorable and battle-weary men chose to defend what was right. To identify one another, they each wore a sprig of lilac and they rose up. What do we do now? First, we grieve. Then we wear the lilac and we rise. We rise up and speak up, and we stand up to defend the things of true value. So I went to Joann's and bought lilac ribbon, because you can't find lilac in Florida in this month. And I think I am not the only one who did that, because I bought the last 6 rolls of lilac ribbon that they had at Joann's. I'm wearing it. It's out on the membership table with pins, and I'm looking forward to those who are wearing the lilac pin so I know who I am in covenant with. And thank you.
Today is Sunday and not Veterans Day, but for the veterans that are here with me, so glad you're still vertical. In front, we are saved a chair for all our MIA POWs. Next to it is the American flag. for their support group that keeps them alive. And I'd like to light a candle for Gregory Benton Jr., whose bracelet I wear, who has not been found yet.
Hi, my name is Patty Walton, and I have a joy that my daughter just had a baby in Arkansas, and it's such a joy. And I also have a candle I'd like in prayers because my daughter is having postpartum anxiety. So it's a joy and a sad at the same time. So I'd appreciate your prayers. Thank you.
Thank you, Patty.
I didn't know this was part of the service since today is my first visit, but I really appreciate that. My husband's, the anniversary of his death is tomorrow, the first year, and he is a veteran. He was a veteran, and so we're going to honor him tomorrow at the National Cemetery, but I'd appreciate your prayers and lighting a candle. Thank you.
May the love of our community hold all those who need love and concern. May the light of our community shine on the broken places of the world. May we never look away when we're needed. May those who are grieving be comforted and those who are tired find rest. May the broken places be healed. And may those who are filled with joy and laughter be abundant.
When Amy suggested that I do the following reading, I had not realized that today is the 86th anniversary of Kristallnacht. This is from Elie Wiesel's acceptance speech for the 1986 Nobel Peace Prize. No one may speak for the dead. No one may interpret their mutilated dreams and visions. It pleases me to say that I may say that this honor belongs to all the survivors and their children, and through us, and to the Jewish people with whose destiny I have always identified. I remember it happened yesterday or eternities ago. A young Jewish boy discovered the kingdom of night. I remember his bewilderment. I remember his anguish. It all happened so fast, the ghetto, the deportation, the sealed car, the fiery altar upon which the history of our people and the future of mankind were meant to be sacrificed. I remember he asked his father, "Can this be true? This is the 20th century, not the Middle Ages. Who would allow such crimes to be committed? How could the world remain silent?" And now the boy is turning to me. "Tell me," he asks, "what have you done with my future? What have you done with your life?" And I tell him, I have tried to keep the memory alive, that I have tried to fight those who would forget. Because if we forget, we are guilty. We are accomplices. We could not prevent their deaths the first time. But if we forget them, they will be killed a second time. And this time, it will be our responsibility. And then I explained how naive we were, that the world did know and remained silent. And that's why I swore never to be silent whenever and wherever human beings endure suffering and humiliation. We must always take sides. Neutrality helps the oppressor, not the victim. Silence encourages the tormentor, never the tormented. Sometimes we must interfere when human lives are endangered, when human dignity is in jeopardy. National borders and sensitivities become irrelevant. Wherever men or women are persecuted because of their race, religion, or political views, that place must, at that moment, become the center of the universe. And now the next reading. It comes from the book The Corners by Nadia Bolz-Weber, Watching Out for Nonsense. She writes, I was asked during the pandemic to give a Zoom talk on unprecedented hope, and I really struggled with what to say. It took me days to realize that my struggle about knowing what to say about unprecedented hope was not about the hope part at all. It was about the unprecedented. Because for hope on which we can truly rely, it has to be a hope for which there is indeed a precedent. It has to be a hope that has been worn smooth by the tears and the prayers and the struggles of our ancestors in faith. For it to be a hope in which I can trust, it can't be unprecedented. Those who have come before us have already lived through pandemics and social upheaval and loss and grief and death and labor pains, which means we are all never alone in our struggles. Not really. With these words in mind, I ask you to join me in a minute or so of reflection, prayer, meditation, or silent thought. Alexander Snyder wrote in an article for Psychology Today some time ago a writing called Uncertainty Requires Connection, Thomas Merton's Vision for Resilience. During difficult times in both work and life, I've often returned to the words of Thomas Merton, a Christian monk and author. Do not depend on the hope of results. You may have to face the fact that your work will be worthless and even achieve no result at all, if not perhaps the opposite of what to expect. As you get used to this idea, you start more and more to concentrate not on the results, but on the value, the rightness, and the truth of the work itself. You gradually struggle less and less for an idea, and more for specific people. In the end, it is the reality of personal relationships that saves everything. Merton reminds us that focusing on outcomes, electoral, professional, or personal, is fragile ground and often beyond our control. Instead, we can find firmer footing in the goodness of our efforts and the strength of our connections. Please rise in body and spirit and join in singing hymn number 348 in the Black Hymnal, Guide My Feet.
Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Keep on a-walking, keep on a-talking, walking up to freedom land. The world looks broken right now. Feels like it's spinning out of control. It feels like that path to freedom land has been severed forever. And yet the stores are still open and the lights are still on. We go to work. Or we go do what we do during our days. We see our families and our friends, and they're still right there. It feels like a death. The stages of grieving are happening because maybe there has been a death, the death of a dream of what America could be right now. A shining path to some kind of freedom land opening up right in front of us. We mourn. We sit in shock and denial. We feel the pain and the guilt. And some of you are wondering, like I am, could I have done more? Could I have called more, or written more, or said more, or tried more? No, you could not have. Not when a wrecking crew is actively trying to take apart that freedom road. We argue and we bargain with the universe or with God right now. Not in my time, not in my children's time, not in my grandchildren's time. Please, not now, not never. But it is now. British author J.R.R. Tolkien, some of you may be real familiar with his work. He was an Oxford professor and a linguist, and he was absolutely aghast at the horror of the First World War. He fought in the French trenches and he survived German gas attacks. And he came home to pen what is arguably one of the greatest pieces of high fantasy ever written, the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And in these books, faced with opposition from a nightmarish enemy with little chance of success, a gentle little being named Frodo, he's a hobbit, they're a species about this tall, and he says to the wise wizard Gandalf, "I wish it had not happened in my time." "So do I," said Gandalf, "and so do all who live to see such times. But it is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time given us." It's too soon for the upward turn stage of grieving, for the working it through or acceptance and hope. But too soon does not mean never. What will we do with the time given to us? You know what? Dreams can be dreamed again, taller and stronger and better than ever before. Roads can be rebuilt. And people may be urging you right now. I've seen it all over the internet. I've heard it from my family. Can't we all just agree to disagree? Won't that make you feel better? No. Can't we have a little peace? In the Jewish Torah, the prophet Jeremiah writes, "They dress the wound of my people as though it was not serious." Peace, peace, they say. There is no peace. Are they ashamed of their detestable conduct? No, no. They have no shame at all. They don't even know how to blush. Calling for peace right this minute, calling for can't we all just get along, is like cutting off an arm and slapping a Band-Aid on it. Excuse me, my allergies. And so we mourn. In the words of Rabbi Mark Katz, we lay down by the rivers of Babylon and we grieve. We sit squarely in the fear of an uncertain future, and we continue to sing the songs we once sang, but we can't do it. How can we sing our songs in this strange land we find ourselves in? It is a strange land right now. But we will find our songs again. We will find our road again, or we will build a new road. How do I know? Because we've done it before. We are not Humpty Dumpty. Human beings as a species bounce. World War I and World War II, we are still here. The Holocaust and the Third Reich left us broken and bloody, but we are still here. Through floods, hurricanes and famines, pandemics and politics. Look around this room, we are still here. I really must get my allergies checked. In this room alone, we have Democrats and Republicans, Greens and Independents, Christians and Jews and Buddhists and atheists. We're here together. In the darkest of times, connection becomes a light, a beacon to call one another home. It may be dark, but you are not alone. One candle that falters and goes out can light itself from the candle beside it. And the more we call, excuse me, the more we call others forward out of the darkness, the higher we bounce back. The more we find the hope that we in fear believed was lost forever. You may play peekaboo with hope, but it is not gone. As long as we are breathing, as long as we are planting the seeds for trees that we may never sit under, then hope is still there. I would be a fool to tell you that there won't be any dark days ahead. And I'm no fool. I won't give you platitudes or even organizing instructions. Organizing is for next month. I want to be practical. What do you do now? You breathe. You eat a sandwich. You read poetry. You listen to the news you can tolerate. Grieve the freedom road that we've lost. Refuse to be smaller because of who you are. Hold on to one another. Protect one another. Vote whenever possible. Say no to any action that violates the principles of your heart. Sometimes evil comes in the guise of peace. Refuse to go along with any act which breaks the world a little more. Refuse to pretend you are not hurt. Freedom Land is still exactly where it always was. We just have to build a new road, and roads are built one brick at a time, one day at a time. Every one of you is here and alive today because you have a 100% track record of surviving. You have created new relationships when relationships were shattered. You've gone on when death and loss brought you to your knees. You know how to heal and go on. You just don't know how to heal from this yet. But we're all in this together, the confounded leading the confused. And we're going to screw up, but that's okay too. You aren't failing. Hope will find you again. When you are building bricks for a freedom road, it's inevitable that some of them will come out broken. But that doesn't mean that you are broken. Nobody gets up in the morning and says, "Today, I'm going to change the world." They simply refuse to be limited by the brokenness of the world. They refuse to be limited by the vision of others or by the lack of a pre-traveled path. When there's not a way, they find a place where a path could be, and they make a way forward. And you can too. Not by dying for what you believe, but by living for it. Living the values you hold dear. There will be hope because you create hope. There will be hope because you live in such a way as to sustain hope. There will be a way forward because you say you will not live in a world of dead ends and broken dreams. There's hope because you're breathing. You are the difference. You are the change. One life at a time. As you go out today, think about your responsibility to birth a new world into being. As you think about making a way out of no way in this country, in this world, think about the words I sang earlier in the service. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. I want you to make that commitment. I'm gonna keep on walking. I'm gonna keep on talking. I'm going to find that freedom road. And if I can't find it, I'm going to help to build it. Don't let anyone turn you around. You remember, we bounce. Amen. I extinguish this chalice, but not the light of our community, the strength that we have together, or the joy that we take in one another. I ask you to rise in body or spirit and join in singing our closing hymn this week, number 169, "We Shall Overcome." grow in peace and love and service. And may the resilience of your community help you to carry on. Peace, ashe, and may it be so.